Not the right button, not the right button, not the right button. There's the right button. Is everything moving? I can't tell. It seems like it is. Then someone will say, we can't hear your voice, man. You're too far away. That'll be Mrs. Forwatton. Although I got to be fair, when Mrs. Forwatton talks, she sounds just like that, just with the southern accent. So you're just too far away, man. That's how she sounds. You got a very well. That's from smoking cigars for all those years has ruined her voice. But I'm just telling you, with a little bit of a southern twangs. Welcome to the bottom of the glass nation. It is Thursday, is it not? Today's Thursday, right? I look around the studio pretending there's a massive audience, and I have people with headphones on, off to the wings, guiding and directing me, and in truth, there's no one here. I'm looking for a calendar. Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, so if everybody can hear me, it is Thursday. It is, I believe it's the 27th today. Can't we count? No, 28th. It is the 28th today. And is it the 28th already? Good God, a third of the year has already gone by. It's true what they say. Time flies. When you the older you get, the faster it goes. Do you know I figured out why? I did. Would you like me to share it with you? Good. I'm so glad you asked. And this is true. It took me a long time to figure this out with my bent hat that my dog sat on. Time flies when you're younger and you're having fun, and then why does it seem to? I mean, you actually go slower when you're a kid. Time flies when you're having fun, but when you're a kid, just summers drag on, days drag on, homework drags on, everything you're doing, waiting for something to happen, drags on. Everything drags on when you're a kid, and it seems like every day will last forever. I remember summers. I thought summers would last forever, and then when you get older, and just zoom, 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 and I know why. It's your brain being occupied. I'm sure that everybody figured this out before me, but it took me a while, years ago. But when you're a kid, you're not thinking about all the things that are going to happen and things you have to work out and problems you have to solve. No. You're thinking about, what video game you're going to play, what friends you're going to talk to, and where you're going to go for ice cream and silliness like that. Or you're waiting for somebody to come home and you rode your bike down the street and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. And when you're a kid, you just, you have all this time and expanse to stare at the clouds. Anybody ever lay on their back and just look at the shapes of the clouds? I know they talk about that in movies and stuff. I actually did that as a kid. And, then when you get to be an adult, you're worried. It's like you got to get to your job, and do I got all my stuff for my job, and how many more days in the week, and how much of my paycheck going to be? I got to pay my rent, and if I pay my rent, then I got groceries, and then I got these bills I got to do. Plus I got to take the kid to the doctor, and then got baseball practice, and all of a sudden you look up and it's 9:00 at night, and you're like, I just got off work. What the fuck is going on? That's it's kind of. I wonder if things come full circle. I wonder if once you quit working after that's all done and you're kind of financially set, I'm not saying you're rich, but I wonder if you're financially set, and you kind of settle in and your brain empties out, at retirement, like the Sun Valley Fox. He gets to that age when he's been a kid, and to be fair with him, there wasn't a lot to think about in the early 1800s. I mean, the Civil War wasn't even on the horizon yet as a child, so he really he was Tom Sawyer. Sun Valley Fox is Tom Sawyer. That's how you should picture him as a 7-year-old boy. Very, very much like Tom Sawyer. He grew up in the South and at Mississippi, playing in the muddy waters of the Mississippi River. True story, and it's true. It's a story. And then he got into school and then got married and then had a job, and it was terrible. Just your mind's racing, and all of a sudden, boom! He's now 98 years old, and he retires, and his brain empties, and there's nothing in it. Nobody's calling him. What about this? And what about that? And how do I fix this? And machine work that. No one's even calling me. His phone doesn't ring all day long. In fact, something my wife and I do for the Sun Valley Fox at his advanced age is we call and hang up. It's not polite, but it gets him up out of his chair. He runs across the room and he picks it up. Most of the time, we block the number, so he thinks that he's being very, very dominant. Not call from blocked number. I'm shut you off. I'm not answering your sales call. So it makes him feel good. He's really he's hanging up on us, but he thinks he's doing some good in the world. Well, his phone, if we didn't do that, his phone wouldn't ring. Unlike Mrs. Forwatton, where, ever since she decided to get married and she was firmly off the market and suitors were still abounding, she had to change her cell number 39 times in a year and a half one time. Did you know that? Yeah, it's true. It's a story. She did that, and just to get people, her phone never stopped. In fact, I called her once, and she gave me her number. We had a conversation, and when I called back the very next time, her number was changed. and she didn't give it to me. She has to do that. So it's quite the opposite, when you're 58 years old, like Mrs. Fort Watt, and you're drinking peach hooch on the front porch watching fireflies go by versus a 98-year-old Sun Valley Fox who's racing around the house artificially thinking his phone is ringing when it's not. We're helping him out with that. It's a very different lifestyle. But either way, when you get older, you get it to be an adult. Your mind races with everything, and time there's not enough time in the day to finish everything. When you're a kid, there's so much time in the day, you're bored, you can't fill it up. All right, we went swimming, we played Pac-Man, we played baseball, we did all our chores, we cleaned our room, I went to your house, you went to mine. Oh, God, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. What are we going to do with the rest of the day? It's more like that. So, yeah, just time is a funny thing. I wanted to bring something up to you guys, too. And I can't drink tonight. You guys are going to have to drink for me. Saturday night, I'm drinking. Saturday night, we're actually going to have a secret passcode to get into the Bottom of the Glass Nation because we have to keep Dr. McDreamy out. We have to keep MarcyZavala.com out. We cannot have them paying attention to how much I'm drinking. Marcy Zavala, the way she works, she's so wonderful. She does such a good job. You guys, all of you who are using Marcy Zavala to relieve your pain, and there's a bunch of you guys in the Bottom of Glass Nation who have been able to connect with her and progress. Every one of you said there's progress in relieving pain. She does a great job. She was going to pay me to remain silent, and she promised me money. She never gave it to, so I'm going to tell you her trick. And then I'm going to tell you why I have to block her on Saturday night's program. So stick with me. Sit back. You put the cat out, shut the door, draw the blind, sit down with your adult beverage. In fact, get 2 beverages, one for each hand, and then let's just talk to each other. Let's have a conversation, shall we? All right. Is it what Joan Rivers used to say? Can we talk? All right. That was my best Joan Rivers impersonation. For those of you who don't know who Joan Rivers is, trust me, it was spot on. Marcy, she does a great job. You guys are every one of you is having pain, less pain, reduced pain. It's your stress levels are going down. Some of you, it's tremendous. Some of you, it's incremental. Some of you are just getting started. But she promised to give me money if I wouldn't tell her secret. And the secret on why she's so successful is the same reason that I can't have her watching the show on Saturday. See, if I blatantly break the diet on camera, on TV, if I'm breaking my diet and I'm doing the things that I'm not supposed, she has a voodoo doll. And she just takes it, and you voodoo doll with pins. And you're like, ow, ow, ow. No. Rambo sword, Rambo knife, jagged, just serrated about this long. And that's what she uses on my voodoo doll. And she would just, you're like, oh, God damn it, Marcy, please leave me alone. Help me, Lord, help me. And she does that to me, so we have to block her. But on the good side of that, that's how she cures all of you. Yeah, it's very witch doctorish. You guys are saying, You sign up, you go, you fill out the paperwork, you have a phone call with her, and she listens to every aspect of your life, and she says, okay, so I got how did you get here? She knows all of your medical, everything. She knows your history. She's got you down. And then she says, okay, where's it hurting right now? You're like, oh, yeah, my lower back, I got this thing. And as you're talking, she's got a voodoo doll made up of you, and she takes a pin, and she says, your pain? How's that? And you're like, no, not any good. She goes, all right, how's that? And magically it starts to go away. But this doesn't happen unless you sign up for MarcyZavala.com. And then you too can have your very own witch doctor doll. It's not true. None of that's true. Wouldn't it be that easy if she could just make a doll of you and just take the pain, just cut it out and throw it away? Okay, you're pain free. Praise Lord. Now on you go. No. The voodoo doll stuff is just for me. And she tortures me with it. She does. But the stuff that she does for you guys, I am so happy to get emails from you guys. I haven't heard one complaint. Not one. Everything has been positive from you guys. So, and again, it's pain. It's from getting older and the stuff that we have to deal with. And I like the fact that I have someone in my life who's looking out for me like that. If I just follow the rules, I do well. When I don't follow the rules, well, everything gets fucked up. It's just how it is. So, you know what I don't have up here, and Trippy's probably screaming at me right now. What I don't have, let's see, there's a thing called New Window. There it is. Let me jump over here. I don't have any sheets up tonight. So if you guys on Facebook, on Rumble, if you guys on YouTube are saying stuff, guess who's not paying any attention at all? That'd be this guy. and that's my fault. It's a bad thing. All right, so let me blow through the sheets real quick. And for those of you new to the program, and Frank Blee, even though his name is in white, he's not new to the program. I saw Frank sneaking by there. Frank's been around a long time. Cool cat. Birthday. The sheets are the Google Docs or Google Sheets. Whatever you guys are writing in Facebook, Sammy, look for Sammy Joe. She is your moderator in there. Whatever you guys are writing in here in YouTube, whatever you guys are writing on Rumble, Josh Maddox is your fella over there. They take the important things and they copy and paste them for me to read later. So if you write something important and you leave, you're never going to know if I read it or not. No. You're going to have to figure that out on your own. So let me read some things between the sheets where Trippy Pineapple has placed himself. There's nothing quite like a pineapple between the sheets. I'm not even sure what that means. Elizabeth Prophet Anzar yesterday is her birthday. That 80s Greek is today. Happy birthday to both. Mary Mistretta and Mrs. Ford, could you please put the phrase Lake Placid in the sheets? Okay, that should have been on last week's, but it might have been on this week's too. Mary Mistretta, you actually talked a moderator into, that means you read the description. You read the description, and Mrs. Ford, could you please put Lake Placid in the sheets? They're in the sheets. Mary Mistretta, you are going to get a couple of gifts from Gen X Talks. You know why? Because you did two things. You read the description. You read the I know it was an old one on you, but you read it all the way down, and you were able to talk a moderator into placing it in the sheet. So Mary Mistretta will get a gift. Mary, just email genxmom@genxtalks.com. Let her know Lake Placid in the title. You're going to get something, and we'll send you a little something. Steve Hill, hello, handsome general. That's one handsome. I got to be honest with you. You know, we've gotten so many handsomes lately that I turned this down a little bit. Now I can turn this down. What you're seeing right here, I can't turn it off. I'm sorry, ladies. I cannot turn it off. But I did turn it down a little bit because we were getting some complaints that there was too much swooning going on in the comment section. In the old days, they would call it croning, I think it was. And cooing was the other one. So I turned this down a little bit, but clearly, as Steve Hill is indicating, I've still got it turned up too high. Thank you for the hello, handsome. That's one. Jason Bertrand, man, for 1 year. Trippy, Lake Placid. All right. Jason Bertrand, I'll give one to you too. And let's get that. Jason, you're going to have to send Gen X Mama, Gen X Talks, Lake Placid in the title. You'll get something. Jennifer Whitehead, member for 1 year. Hello, handsome general and bottom of the Glass Nation family. Jennifer, that's two handsomes. Once I get to four handsomes, we can actually start the regular show. Yeah, you don't want to keep me rambling all night. No. Tom Charles, welcome to becoming an extra. I didn't see it go by. Hope you guys welcomed him. Kayla Stevens, member for 6 months. She's an extra. Kayla Stevens, good evening, handsome general. That's three handsomes and the beautiful Gen X mom and all the Bottom of Glass Nation family. I hope you are all well. We are. The stuff that was going on the last few days wasn't us. As you guys might have noticed, we missed a couple shows. We had some things to do, but it was trying to help someone else out. And you guys have all been in that spot where you've had to stop work, you've had to stop what you're doing and grab your gear because someone you know needed some help. And you couldn't just call them on the phone and say, okay, work your shit out, click. No. Sometimes you have to go and do, come on. You hear what, people of the good ship, hear me speak. People of the good ship, hear me speak. All right? Sometimes you have to go do something. And I'm not saying at all costs, but I can certainly sacrifice a little bit of time. I'm glad you guys were patient and helping along with that because I don't know if it helped at all. But the thing was I went and you guys let me, and that's all that can be said for us right now. We stick together. And guess what? I'd have done the same thing for you guys. You know I would have. All right, so let's move on. That's three handsomes. Marvelous Miss Miranda. Marvelous Miss Miranda, member for 2 years. Hello, handsome general. Missed you so much. I miss you. She's so cute. I mean, I've met her in person now. I just wanted to tuck her under my arm and my coat and just sneak off with her. She's so cute. That's four handsome. She called me handsome general. The Disney kid, member for your general. Beard is sharp as ever. Yeah, I had a conversation with TDP, Trippy Dippy Pineapple, about the beard thing, and I may actually start following a little bit of what his advice on that. I don't often take advice from whippersnappers, but I might whippersnapper. That's a younger You don't know what whippersnapper means? Seriously, I just threw that out. You don't. Oh my God, I needed a drink tonight. Okay, for all of you who don't know what the term whippersnapper was, I'd like you to leave the live stream. I'd like you to just shut it off, go Google it, sit down outside, talk to your older parents and grandparents about that. Once you understand the full definition of whippersnapper, why don't you come back to the live stream? But please don't sit with the rest of us. I'd like you to sit at the little kid table. That's the card table over there with the mismatched chairs. Do that for me, okay? That's the card table that's half in the living room and half in the hallway. It's because there's no more room, and that's where you go. All right. So appreciate that. Straight faces ever. Laura K, member for 24 months. Cheers to the handsome general. That is now 5 handsome generals. All right. One more, and I'm going to turn this down even further. This is just getting ridiculous. Chris Sparks upgraded his membership to Legion of X. I always love hearing when a person they get upgrade. You know what Chris did? He got his taxes back from H&R Block, and he's spending that couple extra dollars a year right here. Right where it belongs. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Ronnie Evans from Facebook. Question. If you lived in a small town USA, what was your hangout spot? When you live in the suburbs of Los Angeles, it's kind of funny. You're part of L.A., you're part of a big city, but we grew up in the San Fernando Valley. My wife and I did. We're the same age. We've known each other since we were 5 years old, and there was local spots. There really was. I know you think, well, it's Los Angeles and California and everything's big and cranky and ornery. Yeah, but, there was a lot of places in the San Fernando Valley that were noggles. We went to Village Christian School. I went to Polytechnic High School there on Roscoe Boulevard. I went to Grace Community Church. I worked there as a custodian for years, and I was participating in every program as a kid. I mentored programs as an adult there. There was a time, that was a church that had 10,000 people on a Sunday or more. 3 services, 10,000 people. And there was a time in my life when I could walk through the crowds of people and I knew one out of every third person. I knew who it was and they knew me. I doubt anybody remember me anymore from there, but there was a time, and it was personal. And Noggles, right down the road, was a place we all used to hang out at. In-N-Out Burger, right down there in Roscoe, hang out there. Mike's Pizza on Woodman and Roscoe, we'd go there. There was a ton of personal places if you were down in the Sun Valley area, Sun Valley right at the border of Burbank, a little bit closer there. Crazy's was a malt shop we all went to. I mean, I know you say you can't have personal spaces like that. You were in Los Angeles. You're lying. Yeah, you're right. Everything we did was all bumper to bumper and 20,000 people. No, there was nooks and crannies that we made our own. I just went by one the other day that I'd forgotten about for years. Gravity Hill is a place that a lot of kids knew about growing up, and I just went by. I completely forgot that it was even there till I drove by it. And so there was a lot of places. I don't know how to answer that correctly if you're looking for one, Ronnie, but it really wasn't a small town, but it was a small town feel. We had good, close friends just like you guys did. I mean, it's kind of tough to explain, but being in the San Fernando Valley was a very unique experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Mrs. For Watton, she's on staff here. She's an elevated, classy, ever-present woman who does wonders for us around here, has gifted 5 Gen X Talks memberships. 2, Thigh 602, Frank Blee's back in the game now, Taz, Steffi O Nurse, and Mr. Blackstar. All of you get to peek behind the curtain now. Some of you know what that is. After the stream's over, go to the YouTube Gen X Talks page. There's a community section. 3 years of behind-the-scenes stuff. There's public stuff out there, but there's 3 years of not-so-public stuff. It's a lot of fun to go back and read up, catch up, and then you're part of the group again. On Facebook, your page is called The General's Lunchbox. If you go sign up there, and there's more stuff coming, almost every day stuff gets posted. A little bit lately we've been gone, but it'll come back, and there's a ton of stuff out there we don't share with anybody. The General's Lunchbox on Facebook. It's $1, but go check it out. It's worth it. All right. Dean Roddering gifted 5 Gen X Talks memberships. Dean, did Dean do that before? That's new. Fred J, Kathy Schmidt, Justin, Terrible Leisure, and Tommy Two Guns. Boy, there's a lot of references in there. So you guys now, thanks to Dean Roddering, you guys get your memberships. Your name is green, the light is green, the trap is clean, and now you don't have to wait. You can keep posting like a madman in the comment section. You don't have to wait. There's no 60-second rule until one of the moderators puts you in the woodshed, which is a timeout. Then you can come back. All right. Christina Dvorak, good Lord. Christina Dvorak. Now, I'm already in love with Christina. You know, she just does this to make sure that my love is deeper and becomes more unconditional. That's why she does it. And she also loves you guys too. Lisa Smith, Arbot, Jerry427, Down by the River, and Dan. Now, see, that's a simple one. His name's Dan. When he signed into YouTube and Google and said, "Oh, what would you like your screen name to be?" You can be anything you want. You could be Superman Big Balls 95 if you want. And Dan went, "Nah, I'm just going to be Dan." And there he is, presenting himself to the world through the Bottom of the Glass Nation and YouTube right here on Gen X Talks. Dan. Welcome to the party, Dan. I wish all of you guys had simple names. You guys fucked me up with your names so bad. I look like the asshole because I only use $3 words and you guys got $12 names. So thank you, Dan. I hope you stick around a long time. Mr. Fatty, member for 24 months. Looks like he got his big blue too. Bottom of the Glass Nation member. The wife took her last radiation treatment today. Immunotherapy and meds for 5 years. Thank you all for the prayers and well wishes in the beginning. Mr. Fatty, this is going to be a success for you. I can feel it, man. Don't ever give up. Don't ever slow down, and just be positive the whole way through. There's no reason not to be, all right? Give it a good look and keep staring it down. All right. Frank Bleed, $2. Hello, General. It's been a while. Frank, you're still down there in New Mexico, aren't you? We still got to have that lunch, my fine feathered friend. And, of course, because Frank dropped in $2, turned my whole screen teal. Who is the $2 whore? Guess I'll have to put in the comment section to see. Sweets. The very next comment I'm reading, Sweets. The loud one is the $2 hoe. Yeah. And that's being gracious and kind. Loud one is the $2 hoe. For those of you who are watching the little hoe drop on the jar on Facebook, his name is Ian over there with Facebook, guys. I was being very generous. Very, very simply, we could have labeled Loud One as the 50-cent whore, 45-cent whore. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff for way cheaper than $2 in his life. But hey, we'll elevate him. He is the $2 whore, as classy as that is. All right. Slim Pickens, does Marcy cure a pain in the ass from a Gen Z helper? You know, I don't know. MarcyZavala.com cures every kind of human pain there is. I'm going to say if she's going to cure a pain in the ass of a Gen Z helper, I'm going to bet she charges extra for that. Now, that's just me. There's different packages you can apply for, but I'm sure she could work something out. You know, if you give her enough money, she'll walk down there and slap him in the face with a newspaper. I would. For a certain amount of money, I will do anything. In fact, you should see what I do for a Klondike bar. All right. John Barger. John Barger, welcome to Extra. I didn't see John's name go by, but it's written in the sheets. Hope you guys said something nice to him. Karen, new member. Where's Gen X Mom? Well, where is Gen X Mom, Karen? If you guys heard the podcast today, did you hear what she said about the sexual questions? You hear that? Did you hear she made fun of me about the kissing stuff? No. We had to banish her. She's done. We removed her crown. We impeached her. Yeah, she's impeached. Gen X Mom is in the woodshed, and she's staying there until she's learned her lesson. I mean, honestly, what is the point of why did I marry her if she's not going to blindly support every crazy thing I do? What is the point of being married? I think that goes true for all of us. Wouldn't you agree? Good. Glad you're coming along with me on that. So if I come up with some crazy stuff to ask her during the podcast, and she's not going to blindly just make me look good, well, I think we're getting to the part where Moses is going to come along and part the Red Seas. I got to tell you, a little separation of church and state is going to occur. So for right now, she's out, I'm in. Well, and let's be fair. Did you want a trained broadcast professional, handsome and devilishly charming, or did you want her? I mean, you know, we're talking about bookends versus the book. Yeah, that's the way I view it. All right. That's a true story, or true, it's a story. All right. Cody, I got through that whole thing with a straight face. I didn't laugh till the end. So if we edit that out for something, the laughing comes much later. That way I can plausible deniability. No, honey, I wasn't laughing at you. The statement was over. I was clearly laughing at the next thing that was on the screen. Oh, I wish the studio door had a lock on it. I can hear her cocking the 12 gauge right now as we speak. All right, where was I? Cody Lawrence, Facebook. General, how do you think the Broncos free agency has gone so far? I have tuned out of the Broncos. They have made such miserable decisions, and a lot of it's Elway's fault in the beginning. You know, he was doing so great as a GM, and then he just fell on his face. I even sent him a copy of Draft Day. Didn't help. Messed everything up. I got a letter back saying, I'm drowning in this. What do? I wrote him back. I said, quit. You just got to quit. Ever since Russell Wilson, I've kind of just stayed out of this thing going, shaking my head. Question, are you using the video of me getting thrown into the pool to advertise the barbecue? Now, no one said who that was from, but we all know, yes, there is a video of Sammy Joe, all 4'3" of her, and getting thrown into the pool at last year's Gen X Fox barbecue. I have not promoted the barbecue, but there are tickets to come. We have a big party once a year in the summer. It's a big pool party. Josh Maddox comes out and plays some music. Everybody shows up. It's a lot of fun. All the names you guys know in Facebook, in Rumble, in YouTube, the names on the list, we're going to have name tags because you're like, oh, I know who you don't until you see their name and then you remember them from all the interaction on screen. You're like, oh my God. And there's a ton of you that know each other and have involved each other, like you know about the kids, the wife, the cancer, just stuff stuff we've been reading. Then you get to sit down in real life. Now, I have not confirmed all of the celebrity names on the list, but we put invitations out to quite a few, and some have said yes, some have not replied. I will say this, of all the people you're looking forward to showing up at the barbecue, no one has said no yet. No, we haven't got a no, so that's good. All right, where are we at? We're still reading the sheets. Good Lord. See, this is one of those fucking names, man. My baloney has a first name. Welcome to Legion of X. I can't even tell what the picture is. The picture looks like a lion with a branch stuck in its head, and it's blue. And the name's My Ryan of Lona. And I'm fucking that up, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to, but you could have named yourself Dan, and things would have been so much easier. Kailash, member for 13 months, bottom of the glass, KGXT Studios, best bar ever. It is kind of a little bit like a bar, like a virtual bar. We're all drinking. You're talking, I'm talking. You say stuff, I respond. It's a nice thing. Kailash has got it right with the big red one. Tech Dumb Dad, $5. Hey, General and Mom and staff, happy Easter to the Bottom of Glass Nation. Love you all and keep it on, Gen X. Tech Dumb Dad, one of our closest allies in the fight against the establishment. Wes Meter from Facebook, first-time viewer. Wes, if it's your first time and you're still here, relax, man. Consider it like a first date. Just sit back. I'll do all the work. It'll be easy for you. Cody Lawrence, General, what's the best way to deal with a best friend who passed away? He got hooked on fentanyl, lost him now 32 hours ago. I'm struggling. I don't think it's a coincidence you were on live tonight. Thank you. I love you, sir. Cody, there is no words that I'm going to say that are going to help you deal with the loss of a friend. There's not, okay? It's painful. It sucks. And the pain goes in waves. Sometimes it gets less. Sometimes it gets so strong you want to rip your heart out. Sometimes it goes low enough to where you can close your eyes for 8 seconds and get 3 breaths in, and then it comes right back. There is nothing that anybody can say. You can go to a counselor and just talk until you're exhausted, and the only reason it feels better is because you're exhausted. You're out of oxygen. You've talked forever. But I will tell you a couple things. The pain never goes away. I think it's always as intense as you're feeling right now. But I will tell you, it becomes a little bit less frequent. Yeah. I know when my grandfather passed away, I could think of him right now, and the pain of him being gone is still a 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, your pain level, 1 being very little and 10 being excruciating, it's a 10. But I won't be thinking about it all day long. And the only way that I have found to get through some of that is to not be alone. I know it sounds dumb. Now, there's a few people that are cavers. There's a few people that they need to be by themselves, isolated. When the day of my grandfather's funeral, I didn't go. I could not go. I drove up into the hills off of Templin Highway, took my dog, and I walked back into the hills as far as I could go till I was exhausted. That was the way I dealt with that day. But generally, when there is a huge loss, it could be even when a girl breaks up with you and you're killing yourself. Don't be alone. I know it's dumb, but if you have friends, as long as they're not chapping at, sometimes just having a person in the room takes the edge off. It did for me. And it has for a lot of people I know. They've called me back and said, hey, you were right. So people that know you, just be around them. They should be around you and just spend time. Drive to the store, drive to 7-Eleven, go walk around the park, go to the lake, sit on the side of the lake, throw rocks in the water, whatever, but not alone. And somehow it seems to make that time pass a little bit better and then the frequency of the pain, it's still tough, it's still hard, but it's not quite as often. And then after, a few months, it's a little bit less often. And then a couple years, it's now less often. Don't ever let anybody tell you that it goes away. It doesn't. It's not going to, ever. But you kind of make friends with the time in between it hurting, and then you can kind of deal with and wrestle with those bad moments when they come up because they're not as frequent. That's the dumbest way I can put it, man. I'm not a counselor. I mean, if it's right for you to get grief counseling, go ahead. If it's terrible, then go, call 911 and don't hurt yourself over it. But I don't know where you're at with that. All I'm offering is just it's really just street level. It's looking out your front door, street level conversation. That's all I'm having with you. And I wish there was something more I could tell you. So I'm not sure if that's going to be something you need to hear tonight. Cody, I don't know if that's going to help at all. But you know what? I'll shut this whole program down for 5 minutes if I think that I can help answer a question or even give you something to think about. That's it. That's all I can tell you about that. Cody, we've all been in your spot. I would raise a glass to you right now, but all I got is some refrigerated Hawaiian water. So I'm going to drink this one right now because I think symbolically it means something to let you know I'm taking a couple seconds. So in the nation, Bottom of Glass Nation, and everybody on Facebook, I think you can drink along with me for Cody and his friend. I really wish you didn't have to go through it, but we've all been there. If you guys have gone through a situation like this where you had a loss of a loved one, raise a glass. What's it going to hurt? Right? All right. What's it talking about here? RPG Dad, member for 18 months. Hey, everyone. It's been a while. Miss you all. RPG Dad. Man, I haven't seen that name in some time. He has been a while. Two Bear, member for 20 more months. KGXC Studio got his big blue tooth. Now, look it. Two Bear has been in and out of here for, I don't know, a week or so now. Now, Two Bear is not allowed to be here. I failed him so bad at the car show. I did such a bad job at the car show. The guy who owns the dealership and ran the car show, he about fired Two Bear. He said, you get away from that guy. I don't want you to be near that guy. Don't talk to that guy. Don't mention that. Don't you ever wear one of his hats or his T-shirts. I think Two Bear can get away with wearing my underwear. Gen X Talks underwear. He can wear the underwear. I don't think there's an underwear check unless they do a ball check there, and then he might be in trouble. But I did such a bad job at the car show on March 9th, the Route 66 Two Bears car show, that the owner has banished me from Two Bears life. So if you see him in here, he's sneaking back in without the owner knowing. No. It's a good thing for us, but it's a bad thing. What a risk. What a risk. Now, that's true love, that he's risking getting fired from his job of 49 years, 50 or 52 years. I don't know. See, Two Bear's 78 years old. He's been working there since he was 16. Yeah, I think it's about 56 years he's been working there, and he's willing to risk it. He's willing to risk it all by coming back, and that's what you want to see. That's dedication like that. And by the way, I'm sorry I let you down, Two Bear. I just fucked up that car show. I'm sorry about getting in the cars and driving them around the lot. I didn't know that was a no-no at car shows. And there was a few convertibles and my fat ass fit in there. And they were dumb enough to leave the keys in, or hot wire, whatever. But either way, I do apologize for that. So if you see Two Bear, that's why. Sig Nelson, Hydrate General, I did, my friend. Mr. Blackstar gifted one Gen X Talks member too. Jesse Fullerton got it. Thank you very much, Mr. Blackstar. And Multiverse Media Space member for 3 months there, an extra. All right. Now that I blew through the sheets, take up the whole goddamn show. Yeah, we're 40 minutes in, and I haven't even got to my program yet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pretend that you guys actually want to hear from me. You want to hear? So I wrote a couple things down. It wasn't all just smoke and mirrors. We weren't just talking out our asses here. All right. Let's go to some stuff in here. So, yeah, the podcast dropped early again. That is a perfect rendition of me. And that is a perfect rendition of my wife when she was, I'm going to say 19. That's a lot what she looked like at 19, except a little more Aquanet, and the hair was about 6 inches higher. But the podcast is dropped. If you guys are on Rumble, if you guys are on Facebook, if you guys are on YouTube, the moderators can link you right to the page, right to the start. It's out almost everywhere right now. We'll get to the rest of them tomorrow morning, but it's out. It's dropped. You can go listen to it. It's a lot of fun. This last week and this week were particularly good episodes. except for the sexual stuff that she pissed me off on, and I don't like that, and that's why she's in a timeout. But we'll see how that goes. All right. Bum, 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 bum. So you guys know the kid's been working on his Dodge Daytona that he bought for me. I don't know if you can see this or not. He started complaining at me. And I said, why are you complaining? He said, well, every time you help me out with something, we did his brakes and he put his wheels and tires on. And I noticed, I said, hey, just while we're under here, you got a lower ball joint that's got the boot broken on it. And he's like, well, what do you mean? So he took a picture of the back of the wheel and sent it to me. He goes, I don't see anything wrong with that. I said, well, I circled it. I could see the shiny right there. It's supposed to be a rubber boot around it. It's rubber boots break on those things. You just replace the ball joint. Well, how much is that going to cost? And how much is that? How long does it take to do it? How long can I drive it? He's bitching and complaining. He says, you know what, Dad? I don't want your help with this anymore. If you're just going to find more stuff wrong with the car or the truck. I said, well, I'm not trying to find stuff wrong with it so you can pay me to fix it. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not getting paid. I'm just showing you, hey, I noticed. Well, stop noticing stuff. Well, all right, I'll stop noticing stuff. I kind of got a feeling that's going to come back to haunt him, ladies and gentlemen. I'm kind of got a feeling something big is going to happen, and he's going to blow a transmission or something. I'm going to go, oh, by the way, a month ago, I saw a bunch of transmission fluid under your truck in the street, but you told me not to say anything. I got a feeling this is going to come back to bite him in the ass. He's very clear, very clear. Quit looking at my truck. Every time you help me, you're looking around and finding stuff. All right. Far be it for me to be helpful. What am I going to say? All right. Yeah, this one kind of bothered me too. I was screaming at the TV, and this is old news from a little bit ago, but that Keith Olbermann is he talked about Trump, and the courts say he has to pay $400 million. It was more than that. It was almost $500 million. And you remember his bond? And they kept saying, well, that's justice. That's what the court said. If the court said it, that's fair, because everyone's complaining there's no real crime. That's almost an unconstitutional amount. And, it's just horrible. But MSNBC and CNN, that a court said this. This is justice. This is justice, is what the court said. You can try to change it. The court said. And I got beat up with that from everyone I was arguing with and talking to. No, excuse me, General. The court has spoken. That's it. All right. So, I argued that. And what was it? About 10 days later, the appeals court lowered it. It was $174 million. They lowered it way down. And what did these two jabronis say? The appeals court lowers Trump's amount. Now, where's the justice? They called it luck. Did you hear that on the headlines? Well, Trump just got lucky with that one. It just luckily brought that down from $500 million to 170. Boy, the luck of that guy, I'll tell you. Trump just got lucky. Where's the justice? Oh, I'm sorry. So when a court, when let me follow your logic, right, you libtards. When the court says it's $400 million, that's justice and you need to do it. When the court says let's lower it to 170, well, that's not justice. That's just luck. Oh, I see. So I love how you promise you're not being biased. I love how you promise you're not showing any partiality. When a court says a dollar amount that is against Trump, that's justice and fair. When a court, another legal court, says, no, we're going to lower that amount, but that's not justice and that's luck, and by God, what's going on in this country? How do you separate the two in your fucking heads? And you do. You do it all the time. That's the part I don't get. You're actually okay with these conversations. God damn it, that was justice if I ever saw it. They lowered it? Where's the justice? And I don't know. It's another court. You were okay with the court before. Why aren't you now? What the fuck is wrong with you people? I don't mind if you don't like Trump or you do. I don't care. But do you hear yourselves? A court says one thing, and then a court says another, and one's fair and one's not? What's wrong with you? It's the same way you guys treat the Supreme Court, too. Thank God for the Supreme Court. Keeping our Supreme Court in these holding our country together, literally, in my opinion, 100% hanging. I mean, if you want to talk about 10,000 strings of our country hanging down, they're hanging from the hand of the Supreme Court, and they're holding everything up and together, in my humble opinion. But you can't sit there and do that with this is right and it's right and it's right. And the court says, what do you mean the court overturned the abortion thing? Well, that's not fair. That's not justice. whenever a court disagrees with you, they're mysteriously a bad court. They're a wrong court, and all of your court decisions are magically right. Do you hear yourself? Go along with it. If you want me to go along with all the federal circuit court injunctions, you want me to go along with all their decisions, you tell me, shut up, that's a federal court, then am I allowed to say, shut up, it's the Supreme Court? You see there? And if you don't have that logic and there's something wrong with you, then shut the fuck up or just go away, because I ain't got time for you. I like this one, though. Speaking of Senator from Pennsylvania, Fetterman, they released the dress code. They relaxed the dress code. And this is how he showed up. Did you see some of the stuff he's been wearing to the Senate, to the meetings? Now, I know everybody said, he had a stroke, and he had some surgery, his brain doesn't quite work right. And I said, well, who knows? Everybody wanted me to jump on the bandwagon during the, he's not fit, he's mentally incompetent. And I was like, well, I don't know. He's just, maybe one day he is, and maybe we're on medication and some therapy. Maybe he'll get back in the game, but he won. And you guys all wanted me to jump on him, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad none of his decisions and comments should count. He's not fit for office. I didn't say that. You guys did. Now I'm loving him going with the dress code. I love how he's attacking the Democrats on the border security issue. I mean, if nothing else, the dude does speak his mind. And if nothing else, I sure like that in Washington. I dig some of that too. Not that I necessarily would vote for him in Pennsylvania, but my God. But speaking of other states, here's a state I don't like. State of California's pissing me off. As you might have noticed, 102-year-old Californian man ordered to clean up graffiti on his personal property or pay thousands. In other words, asshole kids, most likely kids, anybody younger than me is a kid, anybody older than me is an old man, so unless they're over 56 years old, the kid did this. They graffiti on this dude's property. He's 102. He's in a wheelchair. He can't go scrub this off himself. Probably didn't even know it was there for the longest time. And at 102, how many times do you get out and walk your property? I mean, Sun Valley Fox is 98, and he can't even tell you what the back bedroom of his house looks like. He can't tell you what color his garage is painted. No. So this guy he's getting a citation and hauled into court going, you better clean this up or there's going to be thousands of dollars in fines. He's like, the fuck did I do? I just live here. And here we go. There's another wonderful things. I love my state of California, but I hate the government. All right. A quick blurb on here. I saw the Samuel Jackson's forgotten 2010 thriller climbs into Netflix's U.S. top chart. Yeah, I think the movie was called Unthinkable. And I got to tell you, it was a pretty powerful, gripping movie that had no ending. No ending. That is 2 movies in a row that have done that to me. The other one was an older movie with a Western with Liam Neeson and Pierce Brosnan. I forget what the name of the movie is. And it's a pretty interesting movie about these two, one good guy, one bad guy, going down this, and then at the end, there's no ending. Oh, I know. You can do it. It's like, in the movie Shane, they walked, he was shot, the battle was over. There was some finality and mystery to that. There's no mystery with the one with the cowboy movie with Liam Neeson and Pierce. There's no ending. This one here, Unthinkable, I think this is what it was called, has no ending at all. I would never recommend anybody, if you want to be pissed off for the rest of the night, watch this. And as soon as you're done and the credits start rolling, I hope your wife bubble wraps everything nearby because you want to throw some shit. I was so fucking angry. It is bad. I don't know why I'm telling you that. It's just bad. All right. Barbecue tickets. Everybody can put up links to the tickets on the streams. Josh Madden, take care of you guys over on Rumble. A couple people over here in YouTube, and then we got Sammy Joe and TDP over there on Facebook. We'll put up you have to buy a ticket or you can't go. It's a lot of fun. Go to the website. I don't know whether they're linking you to the tickets or they're linking you. Probably should link you to the website page because the tickets are available there. If they link you to the actual page, then you get to see all the stuff. Scroll down. There's pictures from last year's barbecue. It was more fun than it lets on. And we're doing it even bigger this year. It's going to be great. All right. One thing I want you guys to be aware of, and I hate saying this, but you got to pay attention because the Democrats are very good about not doing this. Republicans are pretty horrible about doing what I'm going to describe to you right now. You guys get complacent. Well, Trump's going to win. I'm looking at all the polls and the number. Trump's up. Trump's going to win. And you don't vote. You don't bother voting. Trump's got this in the bag. We'll let it go. And Normally, when you do the State of the Union address, as far as the poll numbers go, most presidents, Democrat or Republican, get a little bit of a bump, and then it goes away. I mean, it doesn't even last a week hardly. It's not much, ever. But for those of you who watched this year's State of the Union, I hate to say that Biden did a good job, but he did a great job. I didn't agree with what he said. I could see through a lot of it. But as far as his base, he salvaged a big part of his campaign. He is still writing some of those numbers. And I'm telling you, it is a bump that stayed. And if you guys just think, well, it'd be fine, and Trump will do, I'm telling you, the only way the Republicans are going to win this, if you're going to vote for Trump, is to spread the word. Well, I do. I spread the word. I got a Trump bumper sticker. No. Spreading the word also means telling your friends, don't forget to actually fucking vote. Don't complain if you don't vote. Don't scratch your head. Well, what happened? Well, looking back on things, Biden had a great State of the Union. He really got his base motivated. That wave stuck with him, and he avoided any debates. He never did one debate with Trump. He was sick. He didn't want to do it. He thought Trump's just going to lie. He did all the tactics to not debate, and the commercials were a hit. He went to he won. You guys let him win. That could be the headline. After voting's done. That could be the headline. And then everyone go, God damn it, I should have voted. I should have grabbed my brother. I should have walked down my street. I should have yeah, you should have. Yeah, you should have, but you didn't. And it was just barely enough to cross the line and he won. I'm letting you know this was an unusual anomaly, but I don't want 7 more anomalies over the next 7 months. No. You want to do something about it, then vote and talk to people. That's important. Here's something that came up here. So you guys are truck owners. Ford patents a built-in pickup bed truck rack with stowaway rails, and it sure seems handy. Yeah, it sure seems handy, written by the guy who invented it. Can you see the picture? I didn't have a picture better than this. On the bed of your truck, they kind of click in, and you pull a little thing, and they click out. For those of you who are picturing this in your head, how sturdy can that possibly be? How sturdy can that possibly be? You know that if you grab those things when they're up, they rattle in there. There can't be any. The stronger that thing will get is when you strap a ladder to it with motorcycle straps on each side. Then it might have some strength and rigidity, but I cannot see this working at all. I really can't. I'd have to see one, but I'll bet you if I grab the top of those rails when they're extended, they rattle, they move around. They cannot be that sturdy. No, I'm just not seeing it. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that or not. When I see one in real life, I'll let you know. But that came across my feed, and I went, man, that's a pretty nifty idea there if, you're just hauling one ladder at a time, perhaps. But you're going to call that a roof rack? You're going to call that a bed rail, something needs to get done? No, I don't see it at all. I guess it could keep cardboard boxes from flying out the sides, and then you could put one in the tailgate and have 3 of things that rattle and don't work. But that's just me. What do I know? All right. There was one more thing. This came across. I didn't click this. I did not click this. I wanted to. Read the title. Read what it says. Civil War Review. Ahead of its time and years too late. Civil War Review. All right. So we're reviewing something that happened. Is ahead of its time. All right. So it didn't happen yet. But it's also years too late. What the fuck, man? What? I didn't want to get more confused than that. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing this is a movie. But Civil War Review, ahead of its time and years too late. That's some gobbledygook that a millennial wrote to try to get everybody intrigued. But I think all I did for older people is like, get the fuck out of here. Come back with a simple title. Or I'll label it for you. I'll go watch the movie and come back. We just call that movie This Sucks. All right. So what are you doing here? So all the yard work you guys have been seeing, if you guys have been paying attention to Patreon, if you've been paying attention to the General's Lunchbox over on Facebook, that's a page. That's a real page. Or the community section here on YouTube. We've been tearing apart stuff that we've bought last year, little things here and there, and we're setting them up in Gen X Mom's garden. And the kid comes to me, I said, hey, this thing we're building right now, this thing we're putting together, does it come with instructions? Are there any leaflets in there? Any pamphlets in there? And mice had gotten into it. We put it out in the garden shed and some mice got in there. So he hands me this. There's a true story. He brought that over to me. He goes, Dad, here's what's left of the instructions. Just the corner that said, save these instructions. Oh, isn't that just my luck? Save these. These are important. And then, well, to be fair, the mice did. They were very clear on that. The mice go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't eat this part. Eat all the rest of it. Not a shred of paper left, but save this one for the old guy. And they did. So to their credit, the mice did leave. All right, let me go back. Come on now. There's some stuff in the sheets. You guys are yapping and talking. Let's see what we got. Bum, 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 bum. Wow. All right, Nightbot, member for 1 year. It's to ensure he attends court, not a penalty for the charges. He's not at risk of not answering the charges. He needs no bond. He's not going anywhere. Well, what Nightbot, that's partially true. It's assure he attends court. But did you know that you cannot appeal? Well, he's already been to court. They gave him the sentence. They found him guilty, and he's going to appeal it. So Nightbot, you might be a little off on that one. But you can't appeal until you pay the fine. You can't say, okay, you hit me with a $400 fine. Let me go appeal this because that fine's going away. I'm going to win the appeal. The rules say you have to put up a bond. You have to put up the money, the 400 and some million, then you can go appeal. That's why lowering it was so critical. It was a big deal. Stuart Bailey, I saw your report earlier that said the amount they've dropped it to will be the amount they will eventually make him pay when they hear Trump's full appeal. I don't think I said that, Stuart. What I'm trying to say, what I should have said then, I'm trying to say now is you can get that money back if you win your appeal. But that is the amount you're going to have to pay. He lost the case. The case is over and he lost. That's his penalty. Now he can put up a bond and appeal it, or he can just pay it and walk away. We don't want to pay and walk away. He's going to appeal it, but he can't till he pays it. Now there's if his big business deal with his Truth Social goes through, he's going to have more money. He'll put up his own bond, but it won't matter. Well, we'll see how that goes. Attrition, member for 15 months. Legion of Action. Hydrate, I just did. Disney Kid, member for 22 months. KGXT Studios. General, you are our Generation X conscience. Awesome and always handsome. Thank you very much. Now you just need a fedora. How is Gen X Mom doing? She's fine. She's ornery. Did you hear the podcast, Disney Kid? Did you hear the way she obliterated me with that stuff? No. She's on my shit list for a little while, but thank you for asking. Mrs. Fort Watton gifted 5 more memberships on YouTube to Deadman, 88, OKR Metric, Hanging Chad. That dude's name is Hanging Chad. You guys, was that a sexual reference to some preppy? Is that a sexual thing? Is he hanging Chad? Is that about his balls? No. That's a reference to something from before your time, if you don't know what that means. KG's in there, and James Bruno, that's funny. Danny H, $5. Biden's performance at the State of the Union address proves big pharma logic. There's more money in treatment than there is in cures. Yeah, that is no lie. They gave him a bunch of naps that day. They got him right in his sweet spot for being cognitive. They juiced him up with every drug you can. They did a good job with that. They timed that perfectly for him to be as best as he can be. I haven't seen him that good in years. Firewood Art, member for 2 months. Have you seen the DeBerkey truck build? It's sick. I have not. DeBerty truck build. I have not seen that. Daniel Legend on Facebook. Dude, how long are you going to rant about just like 100 different subjects? Is there a point to this? Or what grinds my gear? I wonder if anyone will get the quote. I get that quote. He's kind of just carrying on about everything. Well, Daniel, first of all, you will address me as dude, sir. I have honorary entitlement and rank in here. Plus, I'm white. I'm supposed to get white privilege. I don't know what that means, but I'd like some of it. If it's going around and everyone's getting white privilege, I'd like some. I haven't had any yet, but I'd sure like a few. If you can send me a box of white privilege, I'd appreciate it. I'm dude, and I'm not even paying for postage. Don't send it COD. Yeah, I just rant about stuff. Normally, I get to topics sooner, but there was such you guys truthfully wouldn't shut the fuck up, and the moderators kept putting stuff in the sheets, and I kept reading the sheets and putting the sheet. We finally got to the show. Yeah, I had some topics to talk about. What am I supposed to do, Daniel? To sit here and go, today we're going to talk about algebra the whole time. We're just going to talk about algebra because Daniel Legendary here doesn't like me ranting about different topics. In fact, he doesn't like me ranting at all. So Daniel said we're going to pick a topic and just talk about it like normal people. So we're going to talk about algebra. Everybody's looking for X. I don't think that's a good idea. I think she's your ex for a reason. You shouldn't be looking for her. And there certainly shouldn't be books written about looking for your ex. I mean, a whole mathematical system based on something you've been trying to get away from. We're going to stick to this topic for the duration of the program because Daniel Ledgebetter over there on Facebook has had some serious questions. We can no longer talk about what grinds our gears, mainly because none of you know what a stick transmission is anymore. Bueller. All right. I've indulged him long enough. Moving along. Walmart, do you need a job? We would love to have you as a greeter. I would love to be a Walmart greeter. I would, you know what? I used to tell people people say, when are you going to retire? When are you going to quit working? You know what? When you see me finally sit down as a Walmart greeter, I have arrived. I have a little mobile home out in the middle of the desert where I got a little dish network on there. I got my wheelchair that fits in the side of my truck, and I am a Walmart greeter. The rest of my life is set. Someone wants to give me a job as a Walmart greeter, I swear to Christ Almighty, I'll take it. And there's two reasons. One, I would love to be a greeter and talk to everybody all day long. And number two, sitting in a wheelchair, because I can get up. You guys know I can walk. It's just not as easy as it used to be. I would love for some jabroni to come running down through there with security blowing whistles like he's leaving Scotland Yard with $1,000 or $2,000 worth of stuff, and he's racing right by the big fat guy in the wheelchair and gets sidelined. I'll fucking lower my shoulder. I'll take the penalty flag for helmet to the back. I don't care. I'll take the 15-yard penalty, but that motherfucker ain't getting out. Or if he is, we'll let him just crawl that line where it is stealing, in the little lobby, the foyer, and I'll put him right in the fucking ice machine in the corner. That would love to. If you fire me after that, go ahead. Done my bit for God and cut. Walmart greeter, you're damn right. I would love to do that. That'd be a great job. Terry Classic, what's with the groundhog? It's still crappy weather here in California, but getting better. Well, Terry, the thing you're complaining about, you shouldn't be such a little bitch about this shit. And I'm a little bitch about it too, Terry, because we complain about the weather. And then the rest of the country goes, dude, you guys are complaining that it's 69 degrees instead of 73? Well, yeah, that's what Terry and I are complaining about. What's with the weather? It's 71 outside. Martha, get me a jacket. God damn it. Nightbot, $10. I'm not looking for an X, and I know why. Oh, my God. All right, we didn't even get to the hose issue. I had pictures and a story about this hose issue that I have spent 37 hours trying to fix a $50 hose. Why? Because I'm pissed off and I didn't want it to win. I wanted to win. But there's more pictures, there's more graphics, there's more stuff to talk about, but I'm out of time. I got to get inside to make sure it's time. Gen X Mom's in there. It's time to lower the lotion down to her in the pit. It rubs the lotion on its skin. And was she a big fan person? Yeah, it's time to go do that. So I got to get down there before she captures my little foo-foo dog and everything goes weird. And I got dancing to do with the butterflies. You know the whole story. Listen, I got to go. Thank you guys a lot for tuning in. Thank you guys for being part of Gen X Hawks. I'm not sure where you're listening in from. And I can't find the thing on there. There it is. I'm not sure where you listen in from. Thank you for tuning in. If you had an hour to waste of your evening, what better place to waste it with than when Jenna talks? You do. See, there was some alcohol regiment going on here. I just snuck and you didn't know. You can't even smell it on my breath, can you? No, I didn't think so. Wherever you're listening from, we appreciate you. AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you tuned in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember two things. Wherever you go in this world, there you are. That's a positive. You can never forget that one. Second thing is, I'll catch you guys on the flip side.